And I have to say, under his name in this book, it says self-proclaimed legend. So that tells you a lot about Ren. He has taught in high school and in college for 43 years. It says here, his sanity has often come into question. He has self-published a book of poetry entitled Growing into Immaturity, Vignettes of Useless Wisdom, and he has another book called Growing into Infancy, Musing of a Self-Proclaimed Legend. Please welcome Ray Lang.
Thank you for that, Gail. That's really quite an introduction. I did teach for 42 years, and I'm going to just celebrate this a little bit with two very short poems, and then I'll read one other one. It's also fairly short. The first one is entitled The Alibi. Now, I taught for 42 years, 5 years in Japan, high school, community college, 4-year college, on and on and on and on and on, 42 years. And I never heard an excuse like this one. So the title of this poem is The Alibi. A teacher, upon hearing the excuse that a student was food poisoned by her mother. Isn't that a great Mother's Day title? But anyway, I couldn't believe what had happened. I was dumbfounded. You know, I mean, I've seen them all, and if you've taught, you might enjoy reading, who's the guy who wrote Angela's Ashes? Frank McCourt's book, Teacher Man. And there's one chapter where he has the students write excuses, make up excuses, and he would give a prize to the funniest excuse. It's a fabulous chapter. It really, really is. Okay? But this one really happened. This young woman was doing well. You know, she was getting her B's and B's, B pluses, and so forth, and very good, very solid. And along came the midterm, and she got a 68. So about a month later, she says, Mr. Landry, I really would like to be in the advanced placement class. So I said, well, I'm not going to stop you from doing, aspiring like that, but I said, you've got to be really, really careful, because you'll have to hold a lot of material together, and you seem to have trouble with that. And she said, well, my mother food poisoned me. And the craziest part about the whole thing is that I found out later on it was true. Okay? Obviously it was accidental, but anyway, she was feeling very badly. So anyway, here it goes. The Alibi. A teacher, upon hearing the excuse that a student was food poisoned by her mother. My printer broke. The dumb inkjet ran out. I hurt my hand. My book was lost, no doubt. The baby burped. The spray o'erspread the table. My homework lay nearby in the cradle. For 40 years I've listened to these tales. For 40 years I've heard these moans and wails. It's time for me to give some of it back. I think I'll stay at home and smoke some crack. Thank you. You people really are too kind. Okay, one more about the classroom and one other one after that. This one's entitled Contemporary Classroom. For the AP Literature class, a group of awesome young people. Pensive, focused, eyes on the task. Tuning out, chomping, glance at the watch. Totally real, none don a mask. Readings profound, turned up a notch. Comic relief, smiles, grins so wide. Intense focus, test can't be botched. Boredom, rapture go side by side. Total exhaustion, pulsating life. Sadness, joy, along for the ride. The dance of the classroom, shallow and deep. Some oozing excitement, while others sleep. No, really, you people are too kind an audience. Okay. The other thing, too, I wanted to mention was that, I said I taught for 42 years. You know what's really scary? Really scary? The last class I taught was 14 years ago. Okay, I mean, this is really incredible. Please tell me I don't look this old or something like that. Or even better, tell me I don't act this old. Oh, thank you. I tell you, my therapy session has been fulfilled. I thank you all for this group therapy session. Okay, anyway, this poem is entitled "The Blue Heron of Forest Lake." The Landry Estate, a lot of money in teaching, and my wife was a therapist, a counselor, and so forth. A lot of money in that stuff. Okay, and as the great folk singer Judd Caswell said, and in poetry and in folk music, there are dozens and dozens of extra dollars to be made. Isn't that a great line? I wish I had made it up. I really do. But anyway, we do live right on the lake, and every year there is either one or two beautiful blue herons out there. They are just absolutely incredible. They stand here so tall, like and thin, and then when they fly, I mean, the wingspread is just absolutely awesome. Okay, and by the way, you may drive past the Landry Estate. The cops won't do anything to you, but there's usually a traffic jam because people want to see it. But anyway, this poem is entitled "The Blue Heron of Forest Lake." Still, slim, standing in mid-water, wings spread, instant phonogenic pose. The flight, magical power surge, skimming houses and trees, vibrant motion between earth and sky, soon completely gone from view. And at the next sunrise, mystically, magically, majestically motionless on the lake's invisible footstool. And the blue heron didn't come back until about a week and a half ago. Usually it's much earlier. I think this bird is a lot smarter than most of us, really. Quite incredible.
Thank you.
Hi, I'd like to introduce Gail C. Henney. Gail C. Henney is a former North Andover two-term poet laureate and award-winning producer and host of the TV series Right Now. She's the editor of Songs from the Castle's Remains, Leaf Sorrow, Tree Strong, and co-editor of Soulmates, which will be published in 2018. Henny's poems have appeared in Moments Falling Open, Methuen Life, The Underground Movement, and elsewhere. Henny has taught poetry at the Peabody Essex Museum, libraries, senior centers, schools, the Essex Arts Center, Rolling Ridge Conference Center, Salem Arts Festivals, retirement communities, Cape Ann Museum, Mass Poetry's Student Days of Poetry, and Mass Poetry Festivals. It is my pleasure to introduce Gail C. Henney.
Thank you, Pilar. We're running late, so I'm going to read you one poem, and this one's called Stuck. Joe's a guy I'd like to forget. He was a lousy tenant, complaints from the neighbors, damage to the apartment, left with no notice and stuck me with 2 months' rent. So I called him up and I told him where to send the rent check. He told me where to go. As I cleaned up his beer cans and the other junk from his life, I found, hidden at the back of a closet, a box wrapped in a red velvet bag tied with gold drawstring. Inside was Sadie, the remains of Joe's grandmother. I called him saying, "Send me the rent money, or I'm taking the vacuum you left behind and I am sucking up Sadie." Now, I'm stuck with Sadie too. She sits in my garage on a shelf above the fertilizer. I just can't throw her out. Thank you.